Good morning. Welcome to the Happy Ladder Review and Reboot series. My name is Jessica Silver. I'm a resilience coach. And over the next 5 days, we're going to look at a variety of tools to reduce stress and to get clarity about any changes that you might want to make in your life going forwards. All of the tools that we're going to use over the next 5 days are available as a downloadable workbook, which you can access at thehappyladder.org. You should be able to see the URL on the screen beside me. If you have a pen and paper handy, you might find it helpful to be able to grab that right now. But really, don't worry if you don't have one. It's not urgent. So the first tool that we're going to look at is something that will help reduce feelings of stress. Because when we're feeling stressed, it's difficult to make good decisions and equally to think strategically. So today and tomorrow we're going to look at tools to help manage stress. On Wednesday we're going to have a tool that will help with decision making, and on Thursday, Friday we're going to look at how to create a future plan and also how to implement that plan. Today's tool is something called the circles of control, and this is based on Stephen Covey's circles of influence, and is a really useful tool for reducing stress and working out how to actually take action. So on the screen, you should be able to see some concentric circles. On the outside circle, the big circle, you'll see it says can't control. In the middle circle, it says can influence. And in the center, you have a circle that says can control. If we think about what goes in each of these boxes, I think it'll help for the rest of the session in putting this together. So in the outside circle, the can't control, we're looking at things like the weather, a pandemic, traffic conditions or train delays, even things like how long the queue is in the supermarket or how long your file takes to download on the internet. In the middle circle, the circle of influence, are things and situations that you can impact. So meetings, conversations, interactions with other people, where you can influence what happens but not actually control the output. In the center, you have the circle that you can completely control. And the one thing that you can completely control is you. You have 100% control of your thoughts, your reactions to situations, your behaviors, and the actions that you take. So now we know what goes into each of these boxes, we can look at how they link together, how they relate to each other, and how we can focus our attention on the things in the middle rather than the things around the edges. So, a little example. Supposing it's pouring with rain and you want to go to the shops. Now, you could focus your attention on the fact that it's raining, it's miserable, you don't want to go outside, but there's absolutely nothing that you can do about that. Absolutely nothing. So much better to focus your attention on what you can control. So you could decide that I'll use an umbrella and I'll go anyway. I might get a bit damp, but hey. You could say, actually, it's going to stop raining in a while, I'll go later. You could say, actually, I'm not going to go to the shops today, I'm going to go another day. So you've taken a situation, something that you really can't control, to really centering it down into something that you can. A different situation might be something like traffic delay or trains delayed. Again, you can't control what time the train turns up. There's nothing you can do about that. So sitting stressing on the platform thinking, when's this train going to turn up? There's nothing you can do. It's not a good use of your time and your energy to be focused on that part of the situation. What you can do is think about how you use your time. You could use it productively, perhaps listen to a podcast or an audiobook. You could call a friend, maybe even check your email. Really, it's up to you how you use that time. Now, obviously, you might be catching the train to work or be stuck in a traffic jam on the way to a meeting. Now, that really can trigger feelings of stress and anxiety, thinking, I'm going to be late for this meeting. This is a real problem. But actually, again, rather than stressing on the bits that you can't control about being late, what you can do is focus on the things that you can control. Do you need to call someone to tell them how to access the presentation? Do you need someone to step in for you? Do you need to join the call remotely? Do you need to actually decline the meeting, say I'm not going to come, or postpone it? You have the choice of how you want to react. And by being proactive, you can take control of the stress. Stopping and worrying about the stuff that you really can't control just sets us off in a sort of circle and cycle of feeling stressed and anxious. We feel drained when we focus our attention on the outside. You feel frustrated, angry, helpless even. And actually it's not surprising that we feel helpless if our attention is focused here, because we can't do anything about it. We can't change the weather, we can't change the trains running on time, but actually what we can focus down on is this inner circle of control and the areas that we can actually influence. This is where you can really make a difference to how you feel and to managing your stress going forwards. So how do we use this tool in real life? How do we use it on stuff that's relevant to you? Well, the first thing I'd like to do is write down a list of the things that are making you feel anxious or feel stressed. I'll give you a few seconds to write that list down. But think about all of the kind of things. It might be feeling that you're not sleeping very well. It might be anxieties about friends and family, anxieties about money or work, or all of the things that feel huge and that you are anxious about. Just put them down in a list so that then we can work through them and start to pick out what are the things that you can control and that you can proactively take responsibility for, versus the big thing that just feels insurmountable and that actually is outside of your control. Okay, I hope you have at least one thing on your list now. So, if we took an example such as actually find it difficult to get to sleep, it might feel something that actually you can't control. Maybe you just assume that you're not a good sleeper. But actually there are probably proactive things that you could do that might help you sleep better. There could be things like literally prioritising your sleep, making sure that you're not using your telephone in the bedroom, making sure that you're not drinking caffeine too late. Are you taking any exercise? All of these things, they might seem sort of obvious, but when we look at the big situation thinking, oh God, I don't sleep very well, actually we don't take responsibility and control for the things that we really can make a difference for. So if we use that as the premise for looking at these things that we feel that we can't take control for, we can actually reduce stress. Because taking action is one of the single biggest things that we can do to help reduce stress. And taking that little first step creates a momentum to help us keep moving forward. And once we start focusing our attention in the middle and focusing the resources that we have, and fundamentally we only have resources that are our time, our energy, our attention. If we waste those focused on the outside circle, the things that we can't control, we're not using our time productively on the things that we can control. And looking at the things, if we focus on the stuff that we can do rather than the stuff that we can't, we have much more time to actually have an impact and to actually use our time constructively and well. This allows you to have a fundamentally bigger impact on everything that you do. And actually over time you will find that this circle in the middle, this centre of you, actually that circle of control and influence actually tends to grow as you start to see there are more and more things that you are able to actually take action on and to influence. And even huge things like coronavirus, it can be very, very frightening and feel like it's something completely out of your control. But actually, if we start to think about what are the things that are in your control, like being able to wear a mask, like making sure that you're washing your hands regularly, like thinking about how you interact with other people, or where you choose to go and when you choose to go, you can start to take back some control for yourself and feel actually altogether less stressed. So that is our theme for today, is taking back control from the things that are causing us stress. Thank you very much for your time today and joining us. Really appreciate you taking 10 minutes out of your time today to be able to join us for our little 5-day journey. I do hope that you'll come and join us tomorrow for day 2. Tomorrow we're looking at one of my absolutely favourite tools, so I really hope that you'll be able to come and join us then. Thank you very much for your time. If you do have any questions, please do drop them in the comments, and after the session is finished, I will respond to each one of those individually. So thank you very much for your time, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.